adjust your dials. You are not dreaming. You have found your way back to the Rogues Passage podcast. I am Tanner Cherry, and I am joined as normally always, but it's actually been like 2 months since we've sat down at the table, all three of us together, now in the studio, our new studio for the first time. I am joined by my illustrious companions.
I'm Brando Ducknose. My duck is a nose. My nose is a duck.
Hello, I'm Brady the Illustrious. Nice to meet you.
Okay, actually, hold on. That's a great name for like custom card thing. Remember you were brewing up some custom commanders.
I was brewing up
Brady
custom
the
commanders.
Illustrious.
That's actually a
Is
great
this
topic.
the segue? We're just going to jump right into this as a
Yeah,
topic.
we were gonna.
All right.
Man, we always have a plan, and
We always have a plan,
Time.
but we never do it. It's always half-cocked around here. We're always
Do you
just
wanna start with that?
half-cocks.
Absolutely, let's do it. So this lovely boy over here has been crafting and brewing some custom commanders
With the
based-
judges' input.
with judges' input from Daniel from Into the 99. They literally just named cards after each of us, and like the things that we love most about like if we were characters in Magic, what we would be as commanders.
And I spent a lot of time today at work. I've already done this a few times. Like I love just designing fictitious potential proxy commanders for the fun of it. But today, especially, I just got inspired from it. And then I reached out to Dan. I was like, hey, can you actually review these? I want to know what your thoughts are. And he helped me. He ran me through all of them. I'm going to start with Tanner's. Very stoked on it.
Me first.
Yeah, I'm going to start with Tanner because he doesn't know. My bro here.
He
I
has
just-
a problem not just spilling everything to me.
I literally tell him everything. Anyways, so Tanner, rational tactician.
Rational
Yeah,
tactician.
2 colorless. Jeskai, which is white, blue,
5-drop.
It's a 5-drop. Classically, you play a lot of 5-drops. Flash, hexproof. All right.
Yo, I'm liking where this is going.
Now this gets a bit nutter. If a spell would be cast from anywhere, this correlates with the flash. Okay. If a spell would be cast from anywhere and mana wasn't spent to cast it, choose one that hasn't been chosen yet this turn.
Oh, it's kind of like the Gandalf.
Yeah. Or Saruman, or like Rankle, or any of these kind of mode-based modular cards, but with the flash and the hexproof. So creatures you control gain hexproof until end of turn, or put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control.
Wait, creatures gain hexproof. Wait.
You choose hexproof or counters.
But
So-
you're telling me that any spell in my hand is a protection spell for my creatures?
If mana wasn't spent to cast it.
So it's all about cheating out the free cost stuff.
You're cheating out free costs, which you love doing. So it's kind of like Narset.
So you're telling me to build my deck with broken cards.
I'm asking you to throw Narset in Light and Tutor, among other things. And 5/3. So you have a punch and a hexproof for feck's sakes. I just love that. And at 5
mana,
cost, yeah.
5/3 hexproof. Sorry, what was the other one? Flash?
Flash
hexproof.
hexproof. If a spell would be cast from anywhere and mana wasn't spent to cast it, so think suspend. Choose one that hasn't been chosen yet this turn. Creatures you control gain hexproof until end of turn, or put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control.
I'm going to just point out the fact that you worded that so that any player casting a spell from anywhere would trigger it.
That's exactly what I fucking did.
Jesus.
With
Okay,
flash
that card's
speed.
pretty busted. That card, well,
Hey, Dan didn't think it was rude. Dan actually had more issues with Brandon's card than anyone else's.
I will tell
which
you
we
that-
had to tune up.
I will tell you that it's sort of a believable card, which is actually great. And it does actually make me want to build around it.
Oh,
The original concept, I was like, I want to
to
kind of give Jeskai heroic intervention, but then I stopped myself. I was like, okay, giving anything hexproof and indestructible is a little stupid when you give yourself the potential aspect like a Londo, anything that just happens.
Can I-
This guy over here, Tanner, tends to just happen. He's a spike. So I thought about that. So like with the flash, that they'll, little bit of hexproof.
Perfect example. Go watch our last gameplay video. You'll watch this man just absolutely pop off, and then pop off, and then pop off, and then pop off
And
again.
then gracefully die.
And then
Gracefully die. I mean, I was also a serious idiot there. the Phyrexian arrogance. Anyways, so that's Tanner's
Well,
card.
Can I just say one thing about that? Is
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
like, I think it's like I know that like my spike brain is like it's $2, it's gonna get banned. In place of hexproof, I would actually like to suggest like what Wizards has been doing in place of hexproof is ward.
That's what he did for mine.
So
well,
like to change it to
what ward do you want right now?
the cool thing about what Wizards has been doing is that ward can be sacrifice a creature. Ward can be discard a card.
Saruman the many colors, which I'm working on right now. Yeah, exactly.
Like you could do a creative ward.
Well, on
Creatures you
stream right
control
now,
have
or
a
on
crit.
camera, sorry. What ward would you love from this? Because he's had his input as well. I've had a judge's input as everything as well. So Dan, go fuck yourself. I love you. It's all about the boys now.
The card is tight as shit the way it is. It's
so
like
good.
it feels like I what I don't want is like the feeling of when I play my Ever deck. When that deck gets online too quick and like you got to have an answer that turn or you're dead.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like having
about-
just straight up hexproof and then all your creatures have hexproof.
What about ward? Cast a spell for free from your hand.
Oh no, that's way in the opposite direction.
Wait,
We've
I have an
lost
idea.
your way, Brady.
I have an idea.
Drunk on power.
I
can't help it.
I have two ideas that one fits in tandem with what you do, and the other one I think is just flavorful that we haven't seen yet and would be fun. The first is ward give you control of an artifact because you love stealing those mana rocks so much.
Ward. How
There's
do
so
you,
much-
how do you
there's-
word that? How do you word that? Target opponent
How
gains control
would you
of an
word
artifact.
that? Yeah.
Or wait.
Think about 9 fingers. So 9 fingers is ward pay 9 life. So what would it be? Ward
Give
target opponent
No.
chooses.
no ward give. Yeah, that'd be a weird.
It would
wording,
be
but-
there's like ward. Ward target opponent gives you target.
you
No,
know
I
what?
don't think it. I don't think
I'm
it
telling
works
you
actually.
right now, Ward 2 feels right.
Just ward 2.
Creatures,
This is Ward 3.
Ward 3,
saying.
yeah, like maybe the commander has Ward 3 and it gives the creatures Ward 2. That feels like a balancing attempt.
I think
We'll get there eventually.
I think this is actually like minutia. We can go on. We can move on. We can like talk about this later.
No, I do like this ward 2. We're just adding ward 2. I do want to go on to Brandon's card now.
Before we do the other one, because I thought of two here. Ward sacrifice a land.
No, I thought of that, and I did not let it leave my mouth because that is way too powerful.
No.
But it's only a single land.
I mean, yeah, you get the
Sacrifice
choice
an
to do so.
artifact.
Yeah.
But like,
Sacrifice an artifact. Because if
actually-
you can't, you can't target it.
oh, is
Yeah.
this like sack a treasure?
Cool.
Cool. Sack an artifact is actually
Sack an artifact?
It actually feels unique. I don't know if I've seen that yet.
There's so much food. There's so many clues. There's so
Audience,
many treasures. That
what
makes
do you
so
I
much
think?
actually love that.
Yeah.
I do
Is
love
sacrifice an artifact OP, or is it just nuanced enough that it's fair, given how ridiculous it already is?
I think it's
How
very fair.
Okay,
and
cool.
and by the way, this is all inspired by recent power creeps.
Yeah.
I frankly compare some of these cards
mean,
to
yeah,
Voya.
it's
I
pretty
100% compare some of these cards to Voya. I just saw the recent leak for Oko. Like, no.
Yeah.
So please,
Whoa, we got another Oko.
we do have another Oko, and
We'll get
he
to
is
that. We'll get to
he
that.
is so sexy. But yes, we'll get to that.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Outlaws of
He's,
Thunder
no,
Junction.
he's
Yeah, okay.
he's a thirst trap, and I am unapologetically.
I'm
in
sorry,
love.
we have a lot of topics to get through today.
Yeah.
So what, we're at 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We're going through all of the wonderful nonsense that's been going on in Magic.
We're gonna try.
We're going
All
to
right.
try.
So we're gonna go down to Brando. Brando, just player killer, because my boy here loves his PK count.
I just KD ratio.
Just
baby.
Brando, player killer.
That's all I want.
Reach Ward 3. Now he the first bit you're gonna hear here is his
Because
modifications.
he's tall.
At the beginning of your no, it's because he brags all the time. No.
I do.
No,
reach. I do reach a lot.
No, it's because reach is amazing. If you can't fly, then you better well be able to defend against it. And this boy
what
wants
colors? What
his
colors?
combats. So he is. I personally have, since I've known Brando, and the amount of times I've played against him, it comes down to Gruul, it comes down to Simic. And what do those two combinations make? Timur, baby. Anyways,
Red, blue, green, baby.
Yeah.
so and he loves the mana value for 6, so we're just going with it.
6 is my favorite mana value.
At the beginning of your upkeep, put a 1/1 counter on this creature for each opponent. Okay? Now, this is where it gets nutter. If an opponent, and this is where Dan was like,
Wait,
I don't
did you
know.
say each upkeep?
No, on my upkeep.
okay.
At the beginning of your upkeep. Yeah, no, but this is, so this is where it gets a little bit silly.
Whoa.
If an opponent would lose the game, look at the top 7 cards of target player's library. The target player's library, Dan, I had to reconfigure there. Exile each instant and sorcery card face down. You may cast them until your next upkeep and pay any color of mana to cast them.
So you can kill someone and then use other person's cards.
Yep. So the incentive is
because if you kill someone, they don't exist anymore.
So this is the way that Dan was like, I don't know. So this is the way that I verbalized it to him in a text, because after much driving around doing my job today, I had to really justify my actions. So here's the idea behind it since creating it. Enchantress Voltron Extra Combat. Default to the chaos, because if you choose any other player, you don't know exactly what you're getting. But if you're choosing yourself, potentially when there is a single opponent loss, right, you get to do a little bit of top deck manipulation.
Nexus of Fate. Nexus
and
of
you're
Fate.
playing Timur, so you get opportunities there, but you're not necessarily always going to want to choose yourself, right? So anyways, the last person to die to you is still giving the cards. It loses value when all players are dead. It only sucks if you die first. It works defensively, especially if you don't have to do any of the work and one player dies first. It's
Sorry, can
awesome.
you read it again? It has to be by your hand, right?
No.
No,
It's passively.
whenever a player dies.
Just like how yours is passively, mine is passive.
When a player would lose the game, the effect
Yep.
takes place.
So Baron of Sengir kind of trigger. Its original concept was if a player would die until your next upkeep, you may basically bolus his citadel. And Dan was like, So I was like, okay, Judge,
Too strong.
I respect you.
Too strong, also not in black. So.
Hey, he's a bolus fan. I was like, you know what? If anyone's gonna like reap the benefit and laugh,
I mean, I will say,
gluttonously,
shout out to Dr. Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering. When he was tooling this game together, he realized at one point, from what I've heard, that it was impossible to make a game functional without a council of people critiquing. Right? It was like I can't remember where he was working, or he was at a university.
I think so.
And yeah, he just got a bunch of his colleagues to come in and like, you know, he's like, who's going to take me seriously? Like, can you critique this? And there was a room full of what? It was like the original like 6 or 8 people that play tested and figured out like, hey, this doesn't work because of this. And they still let Black Lotus and all that other shit through.
You know what? At the end of the day, hindsight, especially for any committee just being formed, but what could they have compared to back then?
Oh,
right?
I know.
This is actually an interesting round.
First, like TCG.
I do want to finish with some of these cards. And he's a 3/3. Because if, in case you can get through the Ward 3, he
mana
deserves
3/3?
to die from a lightning bolt. Yeah,
6
he
mana
does.
3/3 with Reach and Ward 3 at the beginning of my upkeep.
Yeah.
Gets 3 counters.
Oh, you got okay.
Yeah.
Or it gets
Work
counter-
hard with
it
that
gets a-
lightning.
It gets,
the
it gets
lightning
a
bolt.
place
That's
one.
all I
It gets a
gotta say.
+1/+1 for each opponent. So the beginning it starts off great, and then I Voltron out to the point where I kill somebody, and then I'm getting less counters. But benefit.
Cool. I like it.
Stonks.
Okay, we're moving on to me now. And also, I kind of leaked this to Dan as well. I'm working on one from him, and it's...
Does this mean I can finally play a game with Dan?
Actually, yeah, that'd be a perfect
I think
episode.
this is the leading for that, because I'm not going to lie.
Yay.
His is not going to be
Nasty.
game breaking, but it's going to challenge his perspective, and I want him to feel challenged. That's the thing. This man has 600 decks. I
Oh, I
want
thought
him
he
to
said
feel challenged.
700 on the most recent podcast.
Oh, fucking,
I
I don't give a
might
shit.
be.
It might be 800 now at this point. The guy's voracious. Anyways, so Brady McPie, illustrious scavenger. Thank you. Flying Death Touch. Skip your draw step. If a creature dying would cause you to draw a card, you may dredge 4 instead. This effect
Ooh,
triggers only
wait.
once each turn. I'm a 0/4.
So it's in place of a draw step, which dredge is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So if a creature dying would cause you to draw a card, and I'm in Esper,
Would
I'm an
cause you to draw a
Esper.
card. I see.
because magpies are largely just blue, black, and white. But then when you get close, there's a little bit of purple, a little bit of green. You don't need to worry about that.
I mean, if you cut their head off, there's plenty of red.
Lots of red.
So yeah, like solemn turns into dredge 4 instead of draw a card.
Yeah.
It's pretty tasteful.
I love it. And I'm a 0/4. So, and I played a lot of Rogue Rocks. I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit of homage to that because there's nothing better than a ridiculous commander with a lot of things going on with it that has no punch until you make it, like, until you set it up right. So, yeah. Those are the 3 cards I have for the Rogues. Obviously, you know.
Oh, and then so we still have one to put together for Dan?
I'm still working on it. It's I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, fair. All right, cool.
I'll tell you guys after.
I know, like personally, when I scroll past custom cards on like social media, I just like whip past them because I was like, I don't care. Like I don't want to like use like my brain energy to think about this because it's not real and it's.
I mean, we could go back to my original like custom
though.
card project.
It's fun if it's like this is the prospect of we might build a deck and play a game for this on the channel.
Yeah.
So I'll think about it.
Yeah.
But normally, I don't know. Custom cards
like
piss me off.
I'll just breeze through one more. This was my original when I first started to do this about a year ago. I even my mantra back then was fuck power creep. So I'm just gonna go with the first one, my favorite one, Zoa Zola, and these were all inspired off of the Nephilim from Ravnica. So Zoa Zola, the Glintai, and this one was designed for me. Cumulative upkeep, discard a card. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, you may play that card until the end of your next turn. When you cast a spell this way, each player creates a tapped gold token. Very specific, gold. If a player casts, and this is in all these cards you would love, the first spell a player would cast each turn that a mana from a gold was spent to cast it has Cascade. What are all those things? What are all those things? So this abilities? This is Containment Construct. This is Revel in Riches, or no. What's the one from your Henzi deck? Whenever you cast a spell for the first time with Treasure, you Cascade. What is that one again? Industrial Revolution? No.
Oh, it's a Reign of Riches.
Reign of Riches. So yeah, I got really inspired from it.
Right
and
here.
After making my Oscar Rubbish Collector deck, I was like, this is insane. There's a commander that has Containment Construct on it, like the Containment Construct's ability on it. This is amazing. So I loved it. I combined it, but at the end of the day, that is pretty break. Like as much as it's group hug, it will break the game immediately. And I don't know.
I love that. I see you've got a lot there, but I think it would be beneficial.
Oh, I mean, I was smoking a lot of weed too. It doesn't help.
In the idea of new cards, weird cards, and very overpowered cards, we just got the spoilers for Modern Horizons 3 today.
We did. Let me pull those up.
Okay, so I haven't been. Yeah, okay, man, we have so many things to get into, but yeah, talking about spoilers. So dude, Pro Tour, Murders at Karlov Manor has been happening. Today's Friday when we're recording this. So draft and it's a Pioneer Pro Tour, which my God, if
you're boners right now.
If you play Pioneer, the actual Christmas is watching the greatest minds in the world slug it out with Pioneer, and that's where my focus has been. And I've completely missed all of the spoilers that have happened throughout the last 4 days. Like all the Fallout decks were spoiled. Apparently they showed cards from Modern Horizons 3. Apparently they showed cards from Bloomborough. Apparently they showed cards from Assassin's Creed.
Hits did pop at the Bloomborough.
Yeah, so we've got some stuff to talk about in that regard. Where do you want to start?
I want to start with the Modern Horizons 3 collector set. We have...
because, I heard you two talking in one of our chats about the new Emrakul card. Did you guys see a card?
Yeah. Yeah, it's already...
Emrakul.
They've already
Emrakul. The
Eldrazi's are back, baby.
I'm going to let Brandon take
my
this
tribe.
one.
It's the worst Emrakul that I think has been printed, but it's kind of overpowered, but it's also kind of like garbage as well.
Wait, those two things that you just said.
Are we instead talking about the reason? We're going to get into an argument right away?
Listen. I'm just going to say
How
this.
can you talk about Modern Horizons 3 without talking about
the world anew? How can you talk about it without talking about the world anew? I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously, the Disney princess.
Okay, it's on
the screen. Right? Emrakul, the world anew. 12 cost, which you're doing her dirty because I'm pretty sure she was 13.
She was 13 last.
And I'm pretty sure she was 13 in her last printings. Why you drop that? It takes away some of the synergies of the odd cost Eldrazi synergies that already cost out there. Which, why would you
13 is the number. The Inistrad thing was the 13 is the unlucky number or whatever. So I think that had something.
Tree Perdition and some of those cards,
which actually goes into partly his. We've tried to figure out the lore of why this makes sense, if there even is lore, because Hasbro has kind of scrapped a lot of the lore base of Magic.
Wizards has scrapped.
Well,
before Hasbro bought Wizards was already going through this decline for its writing, unfortunately.
True, but I will say the Magic Story podcast, the official Magic Story podcast, has been going strong the past year.
Yes,
or two.
but I come from reading almost every single book that had Onslaught through Scourge. I read through the Adventures of Phage the Untouchable and Akroma.
Yeah.
I know the origin story of the Ogmoth.
Yeah.
That era's on. And unfortunately it ended with War of the Spark, and I think the Prof is the one who covered it best. Literally anyone in their right minds who knew the game would never write Niv Mizzet as an idiot. You would use more nuance in his language than you did. Anyways.
Either way, so again, Emrakul, the world anew. 12 colorless, just 12 generic up there. When you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. That's amazing. Flying. What?
I'm sorry. So this is in Modern Horizons. So this will be straight into a competitive format. This will be into Modern.
Yep. Flying, protection from spells and from permanents that were cast this turn.
Wait, it doesn't have
Compared to my custom cards,
It doesn't have flash, so it's just prospectively when you put it onto the battlefield, can be countered. If it's not countered, it hits the battlefield. It has protection from everything functionally that turn. Can't be targeted from permanents, can't be targeted by spells. You're not going to be able to Swords to Plowshares, you're not going to be able to do any of that kind of stuff. Which is good, but I think is it feels a weird power down from before. Like, it makes sense, but it still seems...
used to have just protection from instants
And sorceries.
and sorceries.
I believe so.
I thought it was... hold on, let's bring this up.
I like
Yeah, we
protection from spells. Ugh,
Yeah.
God, it's so strong.
Still great. Still that. This is the part that... These next two annoy me just because of the function. When Emrakul, Rule the World Anew leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. Good. Kind of makes sense. I'm sure that
Rings
there's-
really strong with modular. Just want to say.
Yeah, it does. It does ring really strong with modular. It seems weird. It seems off
It's the caveat, unfortunately,
for
of all of this
after-
juice.
for after Zuladoc being printed. It seems like they moved in the wrong direction.
But
is what
I feel like with the last ability, Madness, pay 6 colorless.
Oh, it is just protection from instants.
Yeah, the promised end is protection from instant.
Yeah.
Madness can only be responded to by countering or rebuffing an ability.
Yeah.
And having Madness on Emrakul with pay 6 colorless is insurmountably one of the most craziest things
I
I've
was
ever seen in
looking
my
at
life.
this before. I didn't hear you say that.
Madness
So we were getting to
pay
that.
6.
It has
Madness.
madness pay
And-
6 colorless.
And Madness is flash speed. It
Has-
doesn't matter what it is.
has
If it's
to
a
be-
creature,
has to be
comes out.
colorless, though.
Oh my!
Which is
God.
why, we're tracked to flying, protection from spells, and from permanents that were cast this turn. You literally never cast it on your turn.
Hold up.
You never
Is
do.
this not the greatest? Like, excuse my ignorance if I'm wrong here. Is this not the greatest new payoff for Tron?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like the Urza lands produce
Yeah.
nothing but colorless, and when you have them online, they produce 7.
Except-
so you cast one spell that discards a card.
Yeah.
And then you have the rest. You pay 6 into this Emrakul. You have a 12/12. What's the abilities?
Correct
Is there
me on
no
Madness.
abilities?
No, correct me on Madness though.
Just a
flying.
12/12.
Yeah.
Everything else, no
Yeah,
abilities.
Correct me on Madness though. Madness is it dies at the end of turn.
No,
doesn't it?
No,
not at all.
Madness is you would
Madness-
discard a card, and if you discard a card, you may instead discard the card that has Madness, cast it for its Madness cost.
Yeah.
Can only be countered within a counter ability interaction. That's it.
No, yeah,
Because
so
it's
here's
an
the thing.
ability. It's
Madness-
never mind.
speed ability
I thought
counter
Ma-
interaction.
I think I might have been mistaking Madness
No,
for
no, 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 no.
Escape, and
Yeah, when you
that's
said madness, I
that's
was like,
broken.
wait, what?
No,
It's
Madness
half
is
the price.
Madness is insanity,
Okay,
and you can set it up in
hold up.
colorless. There's so
Hold
much you
up.
can do. There's so much you can do.
This,
There's a lot of artifacts that make you discard.
yeah, I'm not incredibly well versed with Modern. I follow it a lot. I love to watch, but like, my God, Tron. Like, so the original, like the OG Tron payoff, or at least the one when I got into Magic, was Karn the Liberated, right? Karn Liberated. It's a 7 mana planeswalker colorless. The minute you got your 3rd Tron land online, you drop a Karn, you start exiling their lands. You just rip their land base apart, and then you start the game over with all of their cards on your, like, it was ridiculous. It's amazing. And then that actually kind of got pushed out by like, there's better spells now that like the One Ring is a really big thing in Tron. But anyway, like, is that
it's
not
a
the
lot.
best target for 7 mana Tron?
Oh, this is a kill on sight. Anything. Even if it wasn't in the command zone, let's say you're just abusing it in a 60 card format, or if it's in the 99. There's so many ways you can abuse this. However, the one weakest aspect of it also is the kind of the other side of how strong it is as well, because it's the cast trigger. The cast will, no matter what, do an insurrection. No matter what, doesn't matter if you counter it. Doesn't matter if you counter it. You're going to get that ability. And then, on top of that, it's everything else. Okay, its weakest part, obviously, if it leaves the battlefield, which includes flicker, bouncing, anything, whatever. If it leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. I think, more or less, if you build it right, you don't care. Like I was saying with modular, you just set up yourself with a bunch of things. You have potentially something that can return with a sacrifice clause. Actually, you know what? Ooh, no, I'm catching myself now because a lot of that is black. Ooh, girl.
No.
That's what I mean. It's strong. It's good. It's a very good card. It kind of circumvents its own usefulness a little bit.
I think, except for the Emrakul leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures. Everything else is the same.
Well, it's only got protection from the turn you cast it, right? From after that, it is wide open to everything.
Yeah.
Like, I know that the thing I love about Magic is there's terms that go around, like Bolt the Bird or Math is for blockers. This thing is this not like Dies to Doomblade?
Yeah.
Like Dies to Doomblade is one of those.
That's why I said at the beginning.
Oh my god!
That's why I said at the beginning. It's really fucking overpowered, but it's also kind of garbage.
I think this is better than the 99 period. Frankly,
listen,
if it comes out the pay 6 for the Madness. I think they included that in case it goes into the command zone.
Yeah.
I think it's only designed to max value steal all creatures because if you want the max benefit of it, which I believe is paying it for its Madness cost in anyone else's turn, what you're doing is hopefully successfully casting it.
It's a field wipe.
And exactly.
Okay,
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
I think that if you're gonna take advantage of that last one, you just put something else that gives you like a Blood Artist trigger, so that if they want to remove it, then they're gonna die to the damage from a Vein Ripper.
I'm even just realizing now, honestly, frankly, whenever it leaves the battlefield, it doesn't even matter. Why would anyone potentially, let's say, gain control of all creatures? It's not until end of turn. You just gain control.
Yeah.
And then you lose them all if it leaves.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you don't want to necessarily spend mana. What you want to do, the smartest way to interact with the spell is to pick apart every card that was potentially stolen by the one opponent.
Yeah.
That is unfortunately kind of a hard, weird nuance to get around, but what do you think?
All I have to say is you give us Flare of Loyalties and then you print Emrakul again and she doesn't even have Annihilator 1. Wizards of the Coast, I'm coming for you. I'm going to poop on your doorstep.
They had Zul'Adok, though.
Did he have Annihilator?
What do you think, Tanner?
I don't think so.
Is it a sexy amount of tentacles or is it not a sexy amount of tentacles?
I will say, what's the artist's name here? What's the credit here?
Brent Hollowell.
Brent Hollowell? It's an incredible piece of art.
Gorgeous.
It does.
Do Emrakul the best justice has ever been given?
I know. It is a little
it's ginormous
same,
butt
same.
plug with.
It's a little same.
Yeah, it's a tailed butt plug.
It doesn't really set itself apart enough, I think. Oh God! Hold on. I'm looking at my computer right now. What is this?
It's my baby.
All right, I'll put this on the screen for now.
Is that the Disney Princess version?
Yeah, that's the Disney Princess. Well, okay.
Speaking of custom cards and why we skip past them.
Emrakul, the Disney Princess After Dark.
I'm going to save this to my hard drive now for editing later.
Editing.
Hello, YouTube Shorts. Oh, this is a custom you can buy on Etsy for $9.86 Canadian.
Well, if I didn't already have a Judge promo foil, I'd be.
I mean, she's kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie.
That's dope.
Give me a nice,
it's super
good,
cool.
fair.
It is.
I will shout out Confetti Proxies on Etsy if you want to find this this version. I will save that to downloads for later
research purposes.
All right, I felt that entire way.
We got a lot to cover. We should definitely we should start moving on.
All right, yes.
That is cool. I think I will say in closing, you gain control of all of your opponent's creatures. And if you lose it, they sacrifice. So it is a board wipe still.
Yeah.
All right.
Oko.
We're in no organized fashion because a lot of this has been revealed to me through the happenstance. Oko, the sexy ringleader. Oh my God, Do you want to talk about me doing research later? I'm going to be doing research for a month.
Read it to me.
Okay, at the beginning of combat on your turn, Oko, the ringleader, becomes a copy of up to one target creature you control until end of turn, except he has hexproof. +1 ability. Draw 2 cards.
It's a clone?
Yeah.
It's a clone.
Draw 2 cards. No, it's at the beginning of combat clone.
It's
kind of rude.
Does it remain a copy?
Becomes a copy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, until end of turn.
Wait, so you can't activate its abilities?
Well, it's +1 is draw 2 cards.
Only in combat, though. You can't activate its abilities in combat anyways.
But then you can't use it in the second main phase. I'm sorry.
I'm
railroading you right now.
Listen to his abilities.
It's all good. +1, draw 2 cards. If you've committed a crime, which will be probably exclusive.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you committed a crime, it'll be exclusive to Thunder Junction. Committed a crime this turn, discard a card. Otherwise, discard 2 cards. So much you can do with that, especially in Simic, honestly. These days with like discard cantrips, oh my God. -1, create a 3/3 green elk creature token just for flavor.
Elk it.
It's not elking things, but it's creating an elk, so What? Maybe he has
Ken
a
with
stag.
transformation looking at you.
He has to have a thing for stags. Anyways, and his -5 for each.
How did you try to go through that without making a face?
I was going to go there eventually. I was thinking, should I? Anyways, -5 for each non-land permanent you control. Create a token that's a copy of that permanent. Like
for each non-land permanent.
The
create a
fuck is
copy.
that? And I was
Wait. So the only way to get to that is +1, +1, +1.
+1 and -1 and -5. Yeah.
Or it's green.
Proliferation. It's literally the easiest thing to do now.
Or it's green, so half the time that you're casting this, it's entering
So,
with 6 counters anyway.
I'm letting you know right now, if any of you
Doubling
think to make this
season,
into an Oathbreaker, I will kill you in your sleep.
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
okay.
Simic.
Oh, no,
Dibs.
dibs.
No.
No, I already did it.
Nose game.
Simic.
Dude, I'll show you the goddamn.
Simic.
I don't give a shit.
follow the nose
Gayness.
Simic.
Yeah, Brady's got us.
Go-
on that
no,
one.
no,
I got you on that one.
Well,
Anyways,
I'm going to as well, and we can do a double episode because I'm gonna pull out the glasses for a second and say, go back.
next episode.
Go back
the
to
wedding.
go back to the Rogues Passage podcast number 1, and who's the Simic player?
Swole.
I don't give a shit.
Swole.
Who sucks a lot of cock?
The Simic player.
My God.
Civic players do suck a lot of cock. Okay. All right, we're jumping on to some more card reveals.
Hello,
Okay,
YouTube.
super excited. Okay, now I want to take this
so
one.
we were right about Tiny Bones.
Yeah.
Right?
We were right about Tiny Bones. I want to take this one because
feels
literally one of my favorite best buddies ever, and he looks so cute.
Is he a 1-drop?
He's a 1-drop
he is. He's
Death
Tiny
Touch. When Tiny Bones, the pickpocket, deals combat damage to a player, so thinking double strike, you may cast target non-land permanent card from that player's graveyard, and mana of any type can be spent to cast a spell.
That'll
Interesting wording on that part.
seems
I do
like
want to
it
bring that
will
up.
Actually, be competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. It doesn't have haste. It's not like Ravgavan, but there's a lot of ways you can abuse this card. It has Death Touch, so there's a lot of potential maneuverability there defensively.
It says
and-
non-land. Oh,
Yeah,
Non-land.
Do you mean
Yeah.
competitive in terms of like the smaller formats, or do you mean competitive in terms of Commander?
I was thinking like I don't consider Commander a competitive format.
Okay.
I
consider
consider
CEDH.
CEDH.
Yeah.
CEDH is a competitive format, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
I consider Commander to be a casual format, and like for instance, Ragavan is okay in Commander. Ragavan is an absolute like
Beast in
home
Modern, right?
wrecker in Modern. It's a home wrecker. Like it is driving to your house. It is having sex with your dad and your mom.
So what can this? Okay, let's go to like a Pioneer or Modern. Well, no, this is Modern Horizons. So let's go to a Modern mindset here. So this will immediately synergize with Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
Like this is what a turn 3, turn 2 advantage.
Yeah.
Well, okay, if this is a turn 1 play,
Turn 1.
the thing
Modern
is, like,
Modern has Dark Ritual, right?
no.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Take it back.
No, Modern. I believe Dark Ritual is a legacy. card.
Legacy, yeah, timeless. Actually.
you know,
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Oh, camaraderie. Yeah, no, but that's I fucking love that.
No, like so the thing is like fetch lands, like the reason Deathrite Shaman was so good is because you play out turn 1 Deathrite Shaman and you're like very confident that your opponent is gonna like crack a fetch land on their first turn or something.
Yeah.
And then you can use that fetch land to then generate mana. You can exile their fetch land to generate mana. So like Tiny Bones turn 1, you may cast target non-land permanent card from a player's graveyard. It's not.
I mean, you're not going to get a Lightning Greaves. Like, good luck on haste. I think. I can't vote for that. I don't know the card. I don't know all the card lists right now. I'm honestly behind, but
I love this art so much too.
Yeah, the art is amazing. Like he's a little.
no, I know immediately
Who's
how I'm building
behind
this
him?
deck. Some old.
I would say
ratchety
that's
dude.
I would say that's Guff, but that's definitely not Guff. He looks like Guff.
I wish there was some flavor text on this. Tiny Bones is one of the most beloved meta characters ever created. It's weird that
people
he
love playing against Tiny Bones.
they don't love playing against him. They love everything else.
Yeah.
Which honestly, there's not a lot of lore, so I'm really excited for like honestly what he's from Urborg. He steals things for his family. Maybe correct me on the wrong here. Like text from Wikipedia. That's
is
not
he,
real
Robin
life on
Hood?
Wikipedia, but honestly, no. His lore isn't entrenched. So Thunder Junction should be like full blown. Okay, we're giving this is for the fans. And Fibblethip is returning, so let's get right to Fibblethip. Yeah, I'm gonna give this over to one of you guys
what do
to
you think
read.
about that card? Like I think that being a 1-drop and being able to pick apart someone else's graveyard, that seems really strong to me to be able to like cast somebody else's Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt or something like it. Wait, does it require combat damage to trigger?
Just combat damage, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Death Touch combat damage trigger.
Okay. I think it has a chance.
Tanner, why don't you take this one away?
Ooh, you want me to read?
Yeah, Fibblethip.
Brady, I don't know how to read.
Fibblethip. Brandon.
Fibblethip. Lost on the Range. This is 1 blue, legendary creature homunculus. Ward 2. Can't touch him. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, because his eye is so big. The top card of your library has plot. Ooh, okay.
Yet to know what plot is.
Yeah,
Another
or
new.
committing a crime.
Yeah.
Right? The
New
plot
mechanics.
cost is equal to its mana cost.
So it's probably going to be something. I'm going to take a guess here, and this is a good. Commit a crime, I think, is going to be something similar. But oh yeah.
No, the iPad is freaking out.
Yeah. So commit a crime, I think, is
Probably
going
like if a creature died this turn.
something akin to that.
Somebody got salty.
Yeah. I think plot is going to be
Your opponent farted.
the top preview has plot. You may plot non-land cards. I think plot is going to be like delayed blitz. It's going to be you get to cast this for a cheaper cost, but it's delayed.
I hope it's not another
Maybe
morph.
tribute based, like so giving the opponent something, or I don't know.
They just did morph. They just
They
did
just
morph
did
in,
morph.
Karlov Manor.
Yeah.
I highly doubt they're going to do another morph. I think if anything, yeah, they're going to do another kind of sneak attack blitz sort of situation where it's like or suspend.
I don't
kind of
know.
thing.
Blitz. I mean, I can just see it coming out with better mana curves. Like Hensi's the best. Like this is the triumphant version of how it can be the most broken version it can be. Every other Blitz card is in the spectrum of Jund colors.
Yeah.
So I think if they're going to improve it, they're going to expand the colors, kind of like the way that like Casualty was had the range of Grixis.
Yeah.
And then whatever frickin' the Cabaret had, I can't remember right away.
Yeah. Let us know let us know your predictions in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, your Spotify listeners, go to YouTube just to drop a comment for us. Let us know what you think the plot mechanic is going to be and what the commit a crime mechanic is going to be.
because I'm
We'd love to
interested
know.
here.
Please, please,
It says the top card of your library has plot. Okay,
Yeah.
so it has plot, but then it also says you can plot non-land cards from the top of your library. So normally you couldn't plot them from the top of your library. So it means you could normally plot them from your hand, right?
Yeah.
It seems like an alternate casting cost.
Yeah.
It seems like what it's describing to me is that it's going to be another morph.
Well, that's
But
and
I
that's
don't
what,
understand. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I think it's going to be something like akin to like
It's
a
gotta be
suspend or a blitz, where it's
or
like
a foretell.
yeah, where it's like a cheaper cost of, and especially plot, right? It ensues that idea of like you're plotting something, you are planning something. So it might be either
Suspend face down.
yeah, it might be suspend face down. That
Suspend
makes-
face down. That makes a lot of sense.
That's probably
face down on the battlefield.
Yeah.
That's morph.
no.
Suspend.
Suspend is in exile, but it's open information.
Well, it
Plot.
wouldn't be on the battlefield if it was in exile.
That's what I mean. So it's just
But it's
suspended
open
into
information.
exile. That's what I mean.
Anything that
I
is
think that's what-
suspended.
I
That's
see.
my bad.
Exile
Yeah.
face down. Okay.
Suspended into exile.
It doesn't seem that unique. It seems underwhelming.
As
not
a
that I
Prosper player, I must interject here. I think as a Prosper player, potentially, if my theory is correct, I think that's broken. Having the suspended disbelief of what is and isn't there and how we are going to control your triggers, I think is horrible. I think that is a plot.
And until we know, because I'll just say this, if it is something like suspend but exile face down, then they're probably playing with time counters. And if that is the case, Lindo just got twice as more broken. Now,
Does he write time counters?
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, we don't know the context,
Yeah.
but we can.
And maybe your commander that I designed for you is even more broken now.
My God, man.
My God.
Because I did,
Actually,
I
yeah,
did
that's true.
design your deck around suspend. I'm just gonna let you know right now. Maybe a little bit of timey
Cast
wimey.
things for free.
Maybe a little
Or
timey
cheap.
wimey and all that.
Timey-wimey.
You
All right,
like
let's
that
go to
guy.
the next one. Well, because
Let's do one more out of Modern Horizons. There's a lot of stuff we want to cover, and there's go check it out. A bunch of the spoilers are up right now. There's not a ton, actually. Yeah, screw
we
the
should
other
cover-
cards.
yeah.
they gave us
Let's cover the precons.
themed, like the names and imagery for the precons of
let's
Modern
talk
Horizons 3.
about
Yeah, I'll start this one off.
let's talk about the themes of each one.
So this is the Jund Precon Collector's Edition. I don't know why I read that. It's obviously just Graveyard Overdrive. That's the name. I'm assuming Prosh mechanics. I don't know. I'm not if I'm actually excited. I think Jund Aristocrats is abused. It'd be cool to see Jund do things similar to even like Blitz as an example. I would love to see Jund do something other than aristocratic combo based smash face. Blah, I'm a barbarian looking bay. You know.
Honestly, honestly, it kind of screams just from the name of it. It kind of screams like an escape deck.
That would be cool, actually.
Graveyard
John.
Overdrive. Potentially,
Escape with green?
potentially the commander itself bringing down the cost of escape cost or something. Because Graveyard Overdrive, casting things from your graveyard, doing effects. That's what I get from
And
that.
outside of for format, like obviously they're only releasing these decks for Commander. Like obviously the rest of the set
No.
is designed for Modern, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry. These are Commander decks,
The
but
pre-con
Modern Horizons
yeah,
is the whole reason Modern Horizons exists.
Yeah.
Was to be able to print cards for Modern that didn't have to go through Standard.
Exactly.
So they were always restricted by like, fuck, we want to juice these certain decks, but if we print them in a Standard set, they'll be too powerful. So which is funny because that was the old era of Modern, and that was like Modern was regulated by that, and then they were like, let's go around that. And it basically rotated the format forevermore.
Yeah.
Because they were like, let's print more powerful cards.
Yeah.
And like they completely reshaped Modern from that point on.
Do you know who that is?
Is that what Centriplets?
No. Okay, why don't you introduce? Well, I'll jump in after you introduce this. This is this. I didn't even design. I didn't necessarily
So
intend
this is
for
the
him to.
Simic
It's a Simic deck. I did not into. It's like okay, intro this Simic deck, please. But what I'm looking at now, I'm realizing what I'm seeing.
It's gonna be clones. That's obvious right off the bat. Simic clones, which we didn't need more clones. I just want to say, clones and the whole clone mechanic. I'm building Italian deck based around it right now. It's gonna be super fun. It's gonna be super weird.
Stay tuned.
Clones is annoying as fuck. I'm scared, and you saw I had a
on the
sour
camera.
as soon as I saw that sour face on my look.
Okay.
I'm worried.
So,
Sour look on your face.
what do you think, Tanner? What do you think this is? What do you think this represents?
I mean, I'm looking at.
A vizier of many faces.
So close. Helm of the fucking host.
I was thinking
it
that.
does
This-
look Helm of the Host.
This looks like the person literally wearing Helm of the Host. So if that's not the theme, or maybe they potentially created a commander who is the donor of
They
the
also
helm.
say that it's called tricky terrain, so it
Yeah.
suggests that it has something to do with mana, like land base.
Yeah.
So
Clones and lands, maybe cloning land creatures. Weirdness?
So I guess it's time to sell my 4 Helm of the Hosts.
No.
four?
They're only $10 right now.
yeah, they used.
They
to,
got reprinted out
They
the
were.
ass.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're like
never
$10
mind.
now.
There
I
was
thought-
a time I think that like
They were like
Helm of the Host was
$30 bucks.
50 years,
I-
like 40, 50 bucks or something.
Yeah, the most I saw I think was
Darn.
$30.
Same with Grief. I missed it again, folks.
damn.
I
No,
hold on to
your
my
grief
cr-
is still worth money though.
I-
You have
I
the
hold-
alt. You have the alt.
Yeah, grief is still good.
I
You have
know,
the-
but it's not as good.
He's got the alt art.
And
version.
my Eldrazi got devalued too because of Zul'Don.
I mean, my entire collection got developed
quit it.
because of the commander.
I mean, I also love it because you're making the game more accessible, and that's not a problem. But also at the same time, God damn it, quit it.
this is for you,
Ooh,
Tanner.
Hold on. Okay, we got a
Just go.
Jeskai Collector's Edition Commander Deck, Modern Horizons 3, Creative Energy. Is that
It's you.
that looks very Kaladesh. It looks very filigree, right? And he's got like a cannon on his arm.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to Snoop Dogg.
I don't
yet,
know
but-
if that's a recognizable character, is it? It's not Savine
I don't think
or
so.
something, right?
There is one
it's very
recognizable
Kaladesh.
character though that's been floating around the algorithms from Burning Earth games and shit like that.
Creative Energy. So I just we will like I did the one commander deck that I bought from the Fallout precons was Science. It is the Jeskai
Oh yeah, the
energy one.
energy counters.
So
Nice.
if this is more energy cards, I am
That's
so happy
with
about
with
that.
with the Kaladesh style
Yes.
machinery there. It
Because
is
it has to
I
be
will tell you, there
energy.
was a Magic Weekly live stream a few days ago, and they started previewing like they did like a few cards from each of the commander decks, the Fallout ones.
Yeah.
And the ones that they previewed from all of them,
Yeah.
they were really underwhelming. They like I was like I kind of hope that they're like that these decks have more heat or more like because there were the ones that they previewed from the energy deck were like
Oh, the mutant deck. Oh, I'm so stoked. We're getting such heat. Everybody prepare to mill half your decks and get hit by like 40/40s because you did.
I'm going after
Mothman.
I'm going after Captain Underpants, frankly. Whatever Caesar. He's not wearing pants.
No,
has
he's
anyone seen that?
Yeah.
The guy's
You know
sitting
what
on
I
a throne
actually-
not wearing pants.
on that
Love it.
Magic live stream. They didn't call it Caesar. They called it Kesar. The people that designed the set that were like Fallout or like did somebody say like Kesar or
Hold
like,
on.
It's-
like I think there's were they right and everyone else
Who
was wrong,
knows?
or is it the
Caesar-
kids who are wrong?
I haven't played
MGG
Fallout New Vegas in a hot minute,
Fallout.
but I'm pretty sure they do call him Caesar in that, or it's at least Caesar.
What?
How the hell do you spell Caesar? Maybe it is Caesar.
It was the set lead, the person who was on the lead of the set design.
That's the name of the deck.
Hold on. This will.
If you're looking for like Caesar, like the real world, it's Caesar.
Yeah, sorry, we do this
Julius
live.
Caesar.
I mean, if you guys expect anything less from us, we're
This is what people love.
We're just being ourselves, baby. Don't worry about nothing.
There's two sides to
we
YouTube.
do our research live.
Yeah, there's two sides to YouTube. The people who are like outright like the most professional
Oh my
you
god,
can be.
Kazar, Julius Caesar. It's pronounced Caesar. You fucking boobs.
it is.
It's
Julius
a different.
Caesar
It's a different character.
This is a different character, though.
No, the Julius. I just looked him up.
I'm sorry I brought this up. I will it was. They might have been saying that jokingly, but like.
I mean, I've heard
set lead was
Avason.
like
I've heard people pronounce Avacyn, Avason. Like you can even go to like English to. You can just type it in translator. Okay.
Anyway,
it's Avacyn.
yeah, we'll
And
do
it's
this
Caesar.
in post. We'll figure out what word is the right word. But
Before we splash this on the screen, I'm just gonna say my boy here is trying to steal my thunder.
I am not stealing nothing. I am just stealing.
Brandon, other people can play Eldrazi too.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah,
No, I'm
and-
sorry.
and
I've cornered the
I
market
think
on the
person-
Eldrazi.
No, I think the person who only ever plays Eldrazi, period, has the corner. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
person is sucking a lot of dick that you are not. No,
And
you're
we're best-
not.
Hey, if you're the Puritan out there that only plays
You have a
Eldrazi,
Zuludok deck.
if you're the Puritan
And a Kozilek deck,
and a
that's it.
Kozilek deck, and I own every printed Eldrazi in
But
the
they're
game.
not in decks. They're not.
Soon they will be.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Soon they will be. Ruka Morel is on the way. Slivdrazi monstrosities, baby.
Yeah, build that deck.
Yeah, hurry up.
It's
Stop
expensive.
talking about it.
It's expensive. Sorry,
It's expensive. Proxy.
She expensive. No, I will never do my slivers and my Eldrazi's the injustice of proxying them. No, $400 sliver queen. She's staying.
Yeah, until they reprint her.
I don't think they're ever going to actually.
We're talking about a new 6-color.
Wooburg Eldrazi incursion.
And it
And,
says Wooburg plus wastes.
Yeah.
it is,
Eldrazi
it's not a
incursion.
color, but it's 6
No.
different mana types.
Now we got into it. Me and Brandon earlier got into a tangent here, and now here is my theory as to now, and we'll see the art here. You're gonna see some crazy weird shit going on with a bunch of eyeballs. Now, if you know Kozilek and Ulamog's design, you know it's a bunch of weird praying arms with Ulamog. He's like a bunch of tentacles who's just like, ooh, he's all zen, right? He's smoking a lot of pot. Then there's
I had one
Kozilek, who is also maybe smoking as much pot, but he's floating around the air like a ginormous pillar of stone covered in eyeballs.
Praise the sun.
Now, what do we have right here? We have a ginormous pillar with eyeballs praying to some kind of weird weed god. Okay, this is exactly what we have,
weed
and it's
god?
yeah, no, they're
He's-
all
he's-
stoned.
No, he's just being weird. Obviously, Kozilek and Ulamog have come together. Realistically, that's what it does look like.
It does. I think so. So, my theory is that they died. Whatever part of them died, that was as necessary. Maybe Emrakul has released herself. Maybe Zuludok came out. The interesting flavor, actually. Now I want to pull this up. The reason why my theory is going off like crazy right now is because there's one
When you're
card.
done, I have a great question. But
One card leaked here.
He's looking for stuff. Throw the question out.
all right, this is the real talk, guys.
Yeah.
Is it Kozlamog or
Ulazek. Ulazek sounds cooler. Kozlamog is kind of funny, and it probably will be Kozlamog, but Ulazak I think sounds
dude?
better.
Shout out to Deep Space Nine, Star Trek. There was an episode where Tuvok and Neelix
Yeah.
accidentally got fused together in the transporter, and they were called Tuvix. And it is a gripping episode. I'm telling you, it is existential as fuck because
awesome.
they became a new person, right?
Yeah.
That was they were formed of the two of them.
Yeah.
And for the episode to resolve, the other people wanted them to split back into their original form when they figured out how they could do it.
Yeah.
But Tuvix had to agree to die to do so.
That's so
And
weird.
It was a really weird episode.
I love that though.
So here's the card that's making my theory go off like crazy here. So it's It That Heralds the End, which if
Such
we
a
remember the
cruel-looking
promise
card.
said, it's so beautiful in this weird way.
Can I see?
At first, we ignored the little ones, but by the time we realized our error, it was too late. What does that mean? So I think...
That's from General Tazri.
Yeah, and we're talking about, so they're obviously on Zendikar. So my theory is whatever, and they've been on Zendikar for a while now. They showed up, they got smout by Ugin, Soren, and Nahiri the first time. There's so much suspended disbelief levels of writing and detail that you can just include. So my theory incorporating all of this is that the tiny ones kind of survived. There's still enough of them that are sentiently roaming around Ulamog and Kozilek's bodies, not necessarily gone, even though they were apparently pulled in from the Blind Eternities to that realm. Here's my theory. The little ones have rebuilt them into this one ginormous thing at the the beckoning of Emrakul in a different plane because they're all interconnected. That's my theory.
No, so the little
here
ones
first.
specifically are basically lifeless without the big...
No.
Let him talk.
So the big ones are basically... the Titans effectively drive. You got to look at it like this, right? The spawn of the Eldrazi are effectively a part of them. It'd be basically like if you sprinkled your pubes on somebody and your pubes came alive and started to eat them. It's that kind of mentality. Sorry, we were...
Cubes? That's not off the table. That's PG. Come on.
I like your idea, and I like
Tanner's just in fit over there.
PG-13. What's that? What I think, because I agree with you, what I think is some level of, especially for the Wooburg being created into it, the whole idea of how they killed them is that Chandra overpowered her pyromancy with the ley lines of Zendikar, which are known in the lore for being just one of the most like heavily mana infused sources, like planes in their multiverse.
Tumultuous planes.
So I think they kind of killed them, but really what they did is they all spark to Megatron. They just kind of overcharged them.
There's some kind of like "kill me, mother" thing floating underneath, like it's under the ground.
Yeah,
and,
Or like John Carpenter's The Thing, right? Killing them only brought them together.
Yeah, that's a good analogy, 100%. And at the promised end, at the end of the day, we're talking about eldritch creatures that just infested a plane in a way that I don't think, hot take, they would kill and destroy the fuck out of the Tyranids. Just saying right now. It just jumped in my head. I'm just saying it right now. I don't give a shit. I think they would absolutely smelt them.
I 100% agree with you. Amongst some of your other edgy debates that you try to goad out of me, the Eldrazi are a fundamental force of the universe. You can't... That'd be like saying the Tyranids trying to defeat a black hole. They won't. They can't because it's a fundamental law of a... like... They couldn't. They couldn't.
When the Tyranids know fear. Next podcast.
Yeah, that's a fun debate though. I'd love to see those actually. I'd love to see like a death battle of that one day.
Yeah,
we probably won't, but that'd be really cool.
That'd be
a death battle. If you're watching this, do that.
Rooster
for us.
teeth.
Okay, so we got to keep going.
Yeah.
We're talking about a card that's not in the set, right? Or
no, Modern Horizons. That's in the set. Modern Horizons.
That's in Modern Horizons.
That's another one of the new ones.
Okay.
And I'm so excited because that's going in Zuladoc right away.
Sick.
All right. Well, we do have some Bloomburrow. We have some. What else? We want to keep going.
We have so much.
We basically covered all the deck here. I do want to just jump right into it because one of my notes for the podcast this evening was: am I going to jump head first into some Redwall lore to see how it compares? Not that I think it matters necessarily, but I personally think, with reading all the algorithms out there, or all the comments in the algorithms, there's a lot of people who keep actually quoting Redwall. Mm-hmm. So I want to believe that this set is the homage for it. And actually just recently, if you want to go to our page, you can see right now that Redwall is apparently an untouched wealth of potential adaptations among all sorts of different series, video games, whatever you want. You can see it on our channel. Or on our page, sorry, on Facebook. Yeah, absolutely. And you'll see it. It transfers perfectly. It has such a comfortable world that the idea of anthropomorphic only creatures in a plane has a perfect world or place, sorry, in Magic the Gathering. Yeah. And oh my God, do you just look? Tanner wants to build this. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Okay. On screen now, you're seeing Bria, Riptide Rogue. It is a 2 generic blue and a red. 4-cost legendary otter rogue.
It's so cute.
Dude, all the otters they make are just like legendarily cute.
They're like, we fucked up with Lutri. We're gonna do this one right.
This is a 3/3 with prowess. And it gives all other creatures you control prowess.
It's so disgusting.
It also says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, pick a creature that can't be blocked.
That
broken. Prowess builds are meant to cast multiple, let's say 2 or 3 spells a turn. We're looking at like
I'm adding it to Kaikar.
I mean, like, the only problem is, like, if I'm talking about, like, Pioneer or Modern, I don't know if a 4-drop is going to do it. You like, this would have to be, like, a 2-drop to be
well,
competitive.
Lutri, as an example, is a 2-drop companion.
Yeah. Other creatures you control have prowess. This, like, I'm just thinking about. Okay, so would this fit into my Locust God deck? A 4-drop.
I think so.
Essentially
Depends
has.
How often are you playing?
If you're depending on
non-creature
wheels,
spells?
no. If you're depending on interaction, yes.
Yes, no, wheels
It's a finisher.
are
This is
spells.
a finisher.
Hold on, wheels are spells I've cast this turn. Hold on, would the creatures coming in have the prowess and get the prowess trigger?
Well, you would see that,
No,
but it'd
they
be
wouldn't,
really
right?
convoluted and stacksy. So that's what I'm saying. With wheels, I think it's going to get weird. Like the other day when we had a recording, which I don't think we're unfortunately going to be sharing, I went into a game where I kept wheeling and it got really, really weird. So I think, like, if you're going to wheel, it's going to see the percentage, and then you're going to potentially create more locusts with their own ability of prowess, but not with the same prowess check, right? It's not going to see X.
Let's do this in order, right? I have Locust God on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I cast Wheel of Fortune. Locust
this
God and Bria.
and Locust God.
Yeah, Locust God and Bria are on the battlefield. I cast Wheel of Fortune.
So prowess
So
trigger
prowess trigger hits the battlefield,
creates your locusts.
and the Locust God trigger hits the battlefield.
Yeah. So you create your locusts.
So that trigger is on top of Wheel of Fortune. The locusts then get created.
Yeah.
Then you draw the 7 cards.
Yeah.
So they do see that. So you're creating
But-
14 power there.
But now the reason why I'm saying this is a bit
From
weird,
one
because
wheel.
unless you're absolutely math savvy, go for it. I'm taking apart Layla because my Anthem Brew is too complicated with
so-
math. But as an example,
so-
you have both on the
hold on,
card.
there's
You
one
do
question.
one wheel. You
Yep.
create that many locusts. They have prowess. They see some triggers. It's cool.
yeah.
Let's say you go into another wheel. That's amazing. You create 4, 5 more locusts. They have a new on the mark now. They have prowess,
Yeah.
but they don't have the same prowess mark as the ones previous.
Yeah.
Let's say you keep going and keep going and keep going. You're gonna keep seeing that difference.
Okay, you guys are.
And I
you
think
guys,
it's- it's-
wait. You guys are skipping something here. When you cast a non-creature spell,
Exactly.
you cast your Wheel of Fortune. It cast. You get prowess trigger.
Yeah, but those new locusts.
Stop. Cast prowess trigger. Then go to spell resolving. Prowess trigger's already been done. You create your locust. You draw your cards. Prowess is already done. None of those locusts see that.
I
first
don't know.
Trigger.
I still say there has to be some locusts who don't have the same ability.
When
or
you
the same-
cast a non-creature spell, as soon as you cast, you do the prowess trigger.
Okay, so the cast and the Locust
it's
God
still
trigger.
too much to interact
Well,
with. I
no,
think.
like he's right. The Locust God trigger to create the locusts, and the prowess trigger go on the stack at the same time.
Okay, so what would you choose first to not make
Can
it
you not
complicated?
order them?
Yes and no, because specifically this,
Then
right?
you draw your cards.
Locust card is only when you draw your card. So you cast Wheel of Fortune. Prowess trigger goes on the stack. Prowess trigger has to resolve because it's on the stack. You go to resolving the actual spell, Wheel of Fortune. You draw your cards. You create your locusts. That's where the Locust card trigger comes. They don't go on the stack at the same time when you cast non-creature spell.
That's what I mean. You're gonna see
alright,
you're gonna see
no,
different variables
you're
of
right.
creatures with prowess that are not going to be the same power, and it's going to be like how Mazarek with Flight of the Kami or whatever it is. If you sacrifice a creature or a modified creature, create X spirits where X is its power, and in Mazarek it becomes 9999999 million to 9999998 million to 9999997 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gets very, very complicated depending on how far you want to go. So I think in the 99 for Locust God, no. However, as a commander, you will break this and make it your bitch.
I still think it would be.
This is a Tanner card, 100%.
I still think it would be very
I'm fine with
good.
this card.
I still think it would be very good in Locust God. It's just
Just choose it right. Choose times it right.
Because just looking at
Don't
it,
get complicated. Yeah.
just because even just looking at it specifically of an anthem more than trying to go overpowered for that. Okay, so we're gonna Locust God, we're gonna wheel once, we miss the trigger one, we create them many locusts, they don't see that prowess trigger because they've been created after the
Yeah,
prowess
the
is already.
cast is the first thing to happen. So.
But then, oh hey look, I just drew into, I've got all this open mana. I drew another anthem. Cool, I'm gonna drop that anthem. Oh hey look, that's a prowess trigger plus an anthem. Oh, I have mana open still. Let's
I
drop
wouldn't do anthems.
senseis.
I was just what I actually just realized. I take back my statement. I think it's great for the 99.
Yeah.
Don't rely upon wheels. You rely upon it. This is a game ender. This is a
out.
finisher. You put it out.
Get out.
You have a bunch of one drops. That's all you need. You already have 60 locusts.
Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I actually haven't been able to
And go bloop, bloop, bloop.
mess around with the new Locust God build on the channel yet.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, you just have to choose it right. Make sure you don't complicate your turn. You could, be, let's say, as an example, fuck it. You want to try just multiple wheels.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Just until you know.
Yeah.
On that.
But yeah, I think just control your hand right. It'll end the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. On that note, though, because you were saying it, you were last time you played Locust God, you were a little bit iffy about keeping the anthems in there, right?
The anthems, there's only a few, right?
Only
There's
the Guild Pact.
Glass of the Guild Pact is a 2-mana artifact that gives multicolored creatures +1/+1, which all my locusts are.
Yeah.
And God.
Favorable Winds is a 1 and a blue enchantment that gives flyers +1/+1.
Also 2-drop, yeah.
And then I think the other things that are in there that are like anthemic are Fiery Emancipation, City on Fire.
Yeah, I would consider those anthemic, yeah.
Okay, because I remember we talked about this before, and I do still think you should put Grace and Starn into
I
your...
would.
Oh,
but I just,
100%.
like, man,
I need to as well for my wheels deck.
How much is that card worth right now?
25 American.
Did you look it up?
Every time
25 American.
Every time I filled a cart on face-to-face games, shout out.
Yeah.
They don't have one. I would buy one, but I don't have one.
I think the foil version is actually, or the non-foil is much more expensive.
Yeah, Gearson. 31.
Yeah,
so American.
31
American for the foil.
I checked 2 weeks ago.
And
it's
it's
a pricey card.
8, 9, 8, 10 bucks for the normal one. That's not bad.
Now, the only thing
the
that
foil.
The foil is 31 American.
That's what I want.
the only thing about this card that I
like the surge foiling. Sorry.
Oh, it's search foiled. Never mind. Take it back. Sorry.
the only thing about this card that I might avoid though is that the locusts have to deal 1.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that card is a dead card.
Yeah.
So if any of my other cards are on the battlefield that augment their power, then it doesn't do a thing. So,
You're already wheeling in that deck so much. This basically just acts as an extra anthem, but it's a better anthem. Because not only is it a creature, it's 1 damage, and then he's also dealing that damage.
No, but like, so it says whenever another source you control deals exactly 1 damage.
Yeah.
And it says exactly 1.
Yeah.
The minute my locusts become buffed by anything else, this card does nothing.
You're right, but in the meantime, I still think it's worth it.
It's 50% of the time it's a dead card. And Fiery Emancipation's not.
Can I?
Glass of the Guild package is
Can
not.
I throw just an idea out there? You've got your anthem on board, and this is sitting in your hand. You're considering that a dead card. There's responses that can go to those anthems, and those anthems and responses to anthems. I've nuked one of your anthems before to stop you from killing players. That's got word. That's got word too.
I literally did it on the channel the other day when he was almost killing us with elves.
That's got word. That's
fungus.
That's the pseudo anthem with ward.
Okay, Tanner.
We'll see. Yeah, I'd love to try it.
Question about your brew.
Yeah.
Do you have cards like Minotaur Buccaneer or Brawlin? Sky Shark Raider.
Brawlin should go
No,
in there.
Brawlin is what? Every time you discard a card?
Every time you discard it, same with Minotaur Buccaneer.
Okay, right away. No, because I'm not. It's I guess
You're wheeling,
really,
bro. You're wheeling. My deck, my
sorry.
Brawlin and Shawbrowse is a wheel deck.
My Locust God has transformed recently, so yeah, I'm not.
You have an
I'm
excessive
not used
wheels,
to
right?
the massive amount of discarding.
So my theory,
maybe.
So my suggestion, the Otter, Grice and Starn, cut out the anthems, bam. Throw in some removal. The counter spells, whatever.
The
you need.
anthems are so cheap though. They're like it's 2 mana to double my power. It's
I know, but
it's 2 mana. Like
If anything, replace one anthem with this. I wouldn't put the Otter. If you were gonna put the Otter,
the Otter is an anthem of sorts.
If you were gonna,
that would be the anthem.
If you were gonna put in
replacement.
the Otter, it would specifically because you're trying to gear it towards the Otter.
Yeah, I
and
would
that's hard
say
to do.
like so.
You're hard to
let's
do.
talk about the Pioneer Pro Tour that's happening right now. Fucking watching some Is It Phoenix matches. Like that deck is still such a powerhouse. It was actually last time face to face in Calgary. It was won by Is It Phoenix. That deck wants to cast 3-4 spells a turn. My Locust God is not really looking to cast 3 or 4 spells a turn.
No.
So I don't know if it's really suited for a prowess build. And it's not like you get this Otter on board. The deck is not built to be stringing storm spells together.
No.
It's just not. So I don't know if it actually
if
really commands a spot.
No, if
And it's so
anything-
hard to find spots for cards in that deck as it is.
Yeah. No, if anything, the Otter goes into or is a replacement for your Elsha deck.
No.
Elsha-
No.
Other creatures you control have prowess.
No.
Elsha's already got prowess.
No.
And there's no other creatures in that deck.
Yeah, no, I was
fair.
going to say that Elsha is a specific combo-based oriented, I'm only here to
Yeah.
look good, girl kind of deck.
Elsha's got a
maybe
big old glove.
yeah, if like what Elsha's triggers again? No, I wouldn't. I was gonna say like if Elsha was kind of built like my Kaikar, like I'm gonna add the Otter to my Kaikar brew because I personally kind of like a little bit. I don't have any anthems in the deck itself, but I'm all about non-creature cast triggers in the entire deck. Every single creature in that deck
why.
will respond to a non-creature activation. And it goes pow, 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 and you can choose target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. So you can really choose your stacks.
That's why I say into
and
Elsha.
one punch man really, really decently, and maybe it will be Perforos in my Kaikar deck.
Yeah, so sorry. Brandon's saying whenever I cast a non-creature spell Elsha would be unblockable. That might be worth a 4-mana spell.
Yeah.
Then you just ignore all the prowess things on that creature. Like, yes, it was one more creature that has prowess. Yeah.
What if it's a secret commander, Bria?
All I have to do, like, actually, I do have, what's it called? It's a Jeskai monk that you can pay to make double strike, creature double strike.
He's from Shuyin, disciple of Ojai or something like that. Yeah,
something like that. It has the ability to just like give Elsha double strike.
Is my cat being a butt?
We got a cat.
Okay.
Actually, and we're back. Kitty's chewing on wires. You know, this is the magnificent Johann.
Johann von
I'm
Katterwald.
sure you'll fall in love with him as deeply as I have. What we were talking about an otter, and then the kitty has stolen the show as always.
Still on the show.
Let's
move on to the next one.
The next one, Rabbit Soldier.
Rabbit Soldier. Burke, Long Ear of the Law. Vigilance. When Burke, Long Ear of the Law enters.
Ew.
That's a weird wording. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks, double the number of counters. I thought it was about to say double strike, and I said that's broken. That's not that bad.
Yeah, hold on. Why does it say enters and not enters the battlefield? Is this like a
No, I was going to say
innuendo?
even actually I did want to bring this up with Tiny Bones. The wording was different. So
It's
I'm
probably
noticing
the same space.
the language of Magic is starting to evolve a little bit. But whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it attacks, double the number of counters on it. So frankly,
It's Colonian Hydra, but it's slightly worse Colonian Hydra, to be honest.
It's okay, but it's a 6-drop.
well, it's a little bit of Voya. Can you imagine right now if this was in Voya?
Well, it's not good in Voya because it's a Rabbit Soldier.
It doesn't matter. You just summon him. You never have to attack ever. And then every other creature that's been boosted by Voya will be doubled.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
It's
true.
insane.
it
You choose your trigger
It works.
and then just win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we didn't need the heat for Voya. What the fuck are you doing, Mooses?
Yeah, like honestly, guys, like that was actually insane. I've now died 3 times to that
Next episode, watch.
in a row.
Died 3 times to that card.
consecutively. Every time I go against it, I've lost.
Oh no, Voya is overpowered. It's probably
Actually,
the
no.
strongest commander I think they've printed in a while.
I think you and me kind of jumped on James at one time, right, online in the spell table. We're like, you're not allowed to play that card. I think that happened.
No. I specifically, because we're in this. No, so next episode that should be hitting the channel should be James playing Voya. We played a game with him on Spell Table,
We just
and
kicked her out.
I already knew what Voya did, and I made sure with my purest, unadulterated power that he did not get the damned chance
Ward
to have it.
nothing. Ward nothing.
Paying the ward, forcing him to sacrifice. I made sure Voya could not stay around, and we had a fun time because he didn't.
Oh, interesting.
Whereas
I was
spoilers.
not present. I was watching the Super
Things
Bowl
went
while these
bad.
were being recorded.
Oh, this wasn't the recorded episode. No, Voya
No.
might have won that episode.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Oh, you buried the lead.
Yeah, whatever. We've yet to spoil an episode.
It'll be. Yeah.
It's still a great one. You're gonna be on the edge of your seats.
No, it's honestly a fantastic. It's Naya and Naya versus Mardu and Mardu. It's
Yeah.
a very interesting mashup, a very interesting concept. It's actually been a very exciting game, and Voya did a lot of work.
Plus, to be honest, our podcast viewership does not match our game viewership.
That's true.
Oh, I'd be
was
shook.
thinking
Yeah,
that.
honestly,
I was
I'd be shook,
if,
yeah.
If you're here watching the podcast and you have extra information, you deserve it.
All 50 people
Kyle,
who
we're
watch
talking
our
to you. You're the one who is.
all 50 people who watch our podcast are gonna be like, oh man, oh shucks.
Also, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No, we
We
appreciate
love
it.
you. We
Tell
love
your
you a lot.
friends. We talk about a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to talk about this. One of the last cards from Bloomborough, the Martin the Warrior card for the set. Mabel, a little bit on the nose for me, but Hire of Cragflame. Other mice, and I love the flavor of mice now. They're like, especially after Eldraine, they're like, okay, this is a thing. Other mice you control get +1/+1. We got a Anthem. When Mabel, Hire to Cragflame, enters, create Cragflame, a legendary colorless equipment artifact. I like the colorless equipment because they had to be specific about that. Artifact token with equipped creature gets +1/+1, has vigilance, trample, and haste, and equipped 2. It's basically, what is that? That Inistrad. It's a much more expensive equip.
I love that so much.
You know, there's already an equipment that already has it. I can't remember the image prompt here. It's a common. It's been printed out, but yeah.
It's always here.
It's always in the. Well,
always-
he
No,
did
guys.
he did gesture to me for this thing too.
Yes. See, whatever. I'm all height over here. Anyways, Yeah, and I think it's amazing. It's cute. The art is on flavor. He's holding a little blade. I just love this set so much. Like my 8-year-old heart is dying.
Haunted Cloak is what you're thinking of.
Haunted Cloak, yes.
It doesn't.
Equips for 1. Costs 3 to cast.
Yeah.
Equips 1.
Yeah.
I love Haunted Cloak.
Yeah. That was a good card.
You can't make it just like a functional, like strictly better than Haunted Cloak, right? Like it's got to be if you get both of them
It
on
does.
one card.
It is better.
No, because it's a
the
higher
equip
equip
2,
cost.
Higher
but
equip.
+1/+1. And other mice you get +1/+1. So it's kind of like this card itself makes it better.
balanced. It's balanced.
But if this guy would leave, frankly, yeah, the anthem goes away as well, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's 2 haunted. It's 2 haunted cloaks in your deck. It's not a bad thing.
This is stronger for another mouse on the battlefield.
is it
frankly.
2 haunted, 2 furious?
2 haunted, 2 furious.
Is that the name of
Two
the
furious, 2 furious, 2 haunted, 2 furious. Oh my god!
Fast and the Furriest.
Yeah, that was that convention we went to.
Oh yeah, and some art here too. Jace disguising himself as a fox or as one of them. If you know Redwall,
Hasn't he always been a fox?
dickhead, because anyone who knows Redwall knows that the foxes, unfortunately, are typecast as absolutely villainous pieces of shit, and they are. They are.
Yeah,
Read Marl
okay,
Fox.
yeah.
Read Marl Fox.
Is Jace supposed to be a good person?
Well, that's arguable ever since.
I mean, he's egotistical, but he's always kind of been like.
I guess he's
Actually
a,
no, he's a bitch.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
He's a bitch.
Well, I mean, he's egotistical, but he's always been like the good boy, hasn't he?
You can't. I have to hold myself. There's actually so much rants about how much people don't like his writing. They love his design and aesthetic. They don't like him as a character.
Oh, I agree with that. I hate Jace.
Yeah, the art. I don't know.
Not as much as I hate Chandra, though. Sorry.
I don't have it in front of me, but the art for Jace the Mind Sculptor is so iconic. It is such a beautiful piece of art.
Yep.
And
His
shout out to that
aesthetic
artist.
period. Like I love it. He's a mono blue planeswalker who's covered in gruel tattoo patterns.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
There's so much cool like nuances to his writing that's amazing. But otherwise, other than Ixalan, I think they just done him dirty, frankly.
Can I just stop for a minute here and say, let's ignore all of
The frog
this
people.
Jace
Are you
that's
stoked
going
about the
off
frog
over here,
people?
and can we
They are
in
actually
post,
so
zoom
cute.
yeah,
in.
no, this image will be on screen.
No, but zoom into this specifically. Look at those frogs.
They're so cute.
so adorable.
Are they
They're
frogs or are
Absolutely.
Toad people? Toad and frog? No.
They're-
Toad. Who knows if they're going to bring Toad?
They're
Maybe frog?
probably toads. Technically, they're probably neither.
Actually, my bet is frog.
Type
I think because of Poison Dart Frog. I
No,
think it's
I'm-
already pre-existing subtype.
Type-
I think it's going to be frog.
subtype wise, they are frogs. They do look more toadish though. Look at how chubby they are. Look at this.
They are
Look-
super
look
cute.
At him. Look.
We're adopting 8. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like
Super cute.
frogs.
Yeah, Bloomberg looks like it's going to be sick.
Ooh.
Did you say that there was also Assassin's Creed stuff? That we're
Ah,
looking
God.
at?
Let's
I don't
get to-
care.
let's do Assassin's
You guys
Creed.
can carry over that.
Assassin,
time?
an
Universes
Assassin's
Beyond.
Yeah, Universes Beyond. We'll get to it. No, go back to the spoilers. No, there's no. 1 second. No, where-
Oh, you want the
Brady's
you
being
want the
handsy.
Bloomburrow or what?
there's a new frog coming out of one of these sets.
Oh my God, there's been so many things spoiled. Like we're
way too many.
an hour and 20
Right
on
now,
our
all
camera.
I
I
have
don't know.
for the spoiling images right now are Assassin's Creed. So that's all I have.
The Animus. That's cool.
Which
No,
looks like a
let's-
really
let's-
fun sex
let's,
bed.
let's leave this for the next podcast. We've been talking about spoilers.
That's a bidet
Yeah,
that
let's
does
get
everything.
let's get into the CDH tournament, right?
So, you take us off
Yeah,
on this.
All right, I'm going to take you off on this, and unfortunately I'm going to have the shortest opinion on this.
Anyway, that's not what I discovered last night.
I mean, whatever.
Let's do some context here.
Are you
So
cheating on me?
there is a number of podcasts, Magic podcasts. I listen to a lot of Magic podcasts, and
don't.
at least 3 of them have chosen to bring this up because I guess the Twitter sphere of Magic has been inflamed and enraged over something that happened. And like, I don't know. If you think like me, you're going to hear me describe this and you're going to think it's stupid.
Yeah.
And you're going to wonder why we're bringing this up. And I hate the fact that we are now another podcast that's bringing this up. And like, okay, so here's the context. There was an online CEDH tournament that happened with many players. And CEDH, for people that don't know, is the competitive version of Commander,
Yep.
Elder Dragon Highlander.
Yeah.
There was a situation, I believe, what was the card that was it Silence? I can't remember. It was in this,
Yeah, it was silence.
yeah. It was able to, sorry. Yeah. So, I'm just going to read this Reddit post because it's sort of encompasses everything. And then we're going to break this down. This post starts with, I love games that involving lying and bluffing, especially poker and diplomacy. And recently, I've been thinking about getting into CEDH. However, I'm having second thoughts because I recently saw a high-profile CEDH player having a meltdown on Twitter about another player who lied in the tournament about not having a game-winning combo in hand and then proceeding to win the game. Basically, the opponent cast silence and said that people shouldn't counter it because he was going to win that turn.
He wasn't going to win that turn.
Or because he wasn't going to win that turn. It's very good, good for context. But it turned out he had his Underworld Breach in hand, and so he was able to win the game. The guy who lied to the guy he lied to is now very salty and saying that it was immoral and disrespectful of the guy who won to lie like that, and that he showed a lack of integrity. Also, a lot of other prominent CEDH players are now calling for other players to gang up on that player who lied in order to punish him for violating a gaming norm. I'm just going to stop there. Every hot take or like take on this matter, I won't rant too long. I'll let you guys carry
Honestly,
on.
you should just take the floor.
Yeah,
Man,
take the floor. Go off.
Take the floor.
Pop
Please
off.
go
There's been
off.
a
Tell
lot-
them how you really feel.
We love Tanner pop-offs.
Hot
The
take.
fact that people are calling to gang up on the player,
Yeah.
Oh, it's
my
pathetic.
God, man.
It's pathetic. It's
I-
weak-minded.
If you are sitting, if you have like, and this was apparently as a to get like it was in a top 16 match.
Yeah.
So this was like it wasn't the start of the tournament. It was
Yeah.
like these people are playing for money. They've paid their entry fee. They're playing a top level CEDH tournament.
Yeah.
Now my question is, which one of you entered this tournament thinking it was casual? Like,
Weak-minded.
I'm
plebes.
sorry, but like, as someone who just like recently subjected myself to my like beginning my like learning competitive
Tournament
formats,
journey.
but also like as long as I've been playing
Yeah.
Magic, I've been listening to pro players talk about their experiences.
Yeah.
Like it is on you if you believe your opponent's bullshit. Like they are allowed, and here's the thing: the reason that the person who lied was not punished is because it is not a rule. It is not in the compendium of tournament legality. Like you can tell your opponent that you have a green card in your hand.
Yep.
Right? Like you can't. So there's things you can't lie about. Let's
Anything,
start with that.
anything that is specifically known information. So, like, you have 6 lands on your battlefield, even if the player can see
Or
those
cards
6
in
lands,
hand.
or cards in hand, and you say, "I have 5 lands," or "I have 5 cards in hand."
If opponent says how many cards in hand, and you say 3, but you actually have 4,
Yeah.
you are lying.
Yeah, and that is cheating.
That is punishable. That is cheating.
Yeah.
That is real game information that you are not representing properly.
Yeah.
Now, if an opponent says, "I don't think I'm winning the game next turn,"
yeah.
that is not like it's on you. Like, I'm sorry, you were a sucker to believe them. They're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
They're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I've
So
had people exploit me from the same reason.
actually, you know what the coolest thing is? Shout out to the Play to Win podcast.
Yeah.
Play to Win is I would say the premier CEDH podcast, and like everything they do is just incredible. They recently had a player on the podcast that they were interviewing that won the tournament that they had all just competed in, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about an experience, and actually this kind of relates back to Brady, like our hotel discussion, because he was talking.
Yeah.
He was talking about how there was a turn where he suggested something to one of the players, and he got scolded by a judge. You are not allowed in CEDH tournament gameplay to
political?
try and suggest
Oh,
or
God.
be political.
I
You
love
cannot
that.
suggest what someone should do.
See-
that is an infraction. Now so you were trying to say, like, I wish we could play this game without the politicking.
Three player, not necessarily 4 player. I think I believed you right away. I think I agreed immediately. It's impossible to not exclude politics in a 4-way game. However, my argument was in a 3-way, any 2 player ganging up on the 1 player to me is unfair. No matter what deals are made, I feel like unless you're going to break that this chain,
Yeah.
everyone has to make the deal at the same time.
And
in
my
3-player.
point was that you're saying it's unfair, and it is categorically unfair, and you can't change that. It is unfair because you're siding with one person over the other.
Yep.
It can never be not fair, right? You can't make it fair. It's there's like fringe
but
situations where
removing
you can make it
politics.
fair.
That's my thinking.
So here's
Remove
the thing.
politics, it's fair.
Remove politics. Like if you want to play in a competitive CEDH format and you want to sit down at a table with people that like, I'm sorry, there's money on the line. People want to win.
Yep.
If that person says, "Oh sure, I won't attack you there, bro." Oh yeah, no, I definitely won't attack you. And then you untap and he's like, "I send all my creatures."
Yeah, that's happened
That
more than
is
once.
legal, and I'm sorry, it's your fault. You
Yeah.
have to be rational. You have to be like. You have to think about what could
It's a
happen.
game of wins and losses.
you have to make your decisions on your side. I'm appalled at how that we're talking about this because Magic Mike's was talking about this. MTG Goldfish was talking
Yeah,
about
but
this.
we weren't, Tanner, okay?
No, everybody's talking about this thing where this person lied to win a game. The dude played you, and like it was his right to do so because he's out for blood, as is everybody else. I don't know how this casual like commander like Rule Zero mindset is even a conversation at a CEDH tournament. I mean, like get over it.
To throw my 2 cents in here, because this isn't defending people's choice to like bandwagon and hop on this, or even try and. Neither side should be penalized. Like no person out of this, like these two that are involved in this situation, neither one of them should be seen as a bad person. And I'll say this specifically. I'll word it like this. Was lying about not being able to win that turn, quotation marks, immoral and disrespectful? Absolutely it was. But
Yes.
absolutely it was. To lie.
Well,
let me
I don't
finish.
think it's immoral.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
To lie about not being like to say specifically, I'm not going to be able to win this turn, and then to win. It is immoral. It is disrespectful. It is lacking integrity. However, as he just so eloquently put, and to flesh it out a little bit, there's no rules in love and war. It's a games of wins and losses.
That's literally the friggin' stamp right there. That
It's like-
sentence.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you make a card like Tox Roll and not expect people to play with it? Like, go fuck yourself. No, this is a game of wins and losses.
Yeah, so-
It's like you can be immoral. You can do that. You are here to win. You're here to win a prize. That means being cutthroat. That means being immoral. That means in the sense of not actually cheating, but using any dastardly tricks that you can to put yourself in that position of winning.
And I want to
Absolutely.
say here that I will send a shout out here because this is the original post. The OP is the Turbulent Media 6684 posted 4 days ago.
Yeah.
He does state here, I totally get blah blah blah. Like with money on the line, something immoral, lack of like. If so, I really don't want to play CEDH. Thank you, thank you for realizing the writing on the wall. If that kind of gameplay is not for you. Thank you for realizing that and then being like, that might not be for me. Like I kind of want to smack the person in the mouth who went off on a tangent, like saying
And tried doxing the person
You're
and
not allowed
everything.
to tell me that blah blah. Like I'm sorry, man. If so, go to the casual tables.
Yeah.
If you want to go play
Go.
for money with entry fee against murderers that want to kill you.
Yeah.
Go to your house rules where
Use-
you're banning
yeah.
Llanowar, where you're banning Llanowar elves, and you don't let anyone play Psych
know.
Rift,
Yeah,
and,
I don't
and
wanna
no
get-
one's allowed to do this and that and this and that and this and that, and literally represent everything you don't like about the game. Please go do that at your house.
That's the thing. I do
Go.
feel like the casual thing, it's a whole different sphere. It is, I believe, personally, my personal belief is that it is polluted very heavily with
casual
too
commanders
much imposition.
is- yeah.
I think there's too much imposition. I think that Rule Zero has allowed people to decide too heavily what they want to impose on other players. And I believe that competitive formats are devoid of that, or not devoid, but like very clean of that in regards to the rules are set, play by the rules or get lost, right? And CEDH is one of those formats.
Can I add to that for just a quick little something to that?
Oh, please.
I agree with that statement. I think it's just because the turn zero discussion has been. Turn zero discussion is important, and its whole idea is so that everybody has the ability to potentially have fun, or at least go into a game, to go into a game where they like have either the ability
where
to
they
win or
enjoy their
at
time.
least have fun, even if you're not winning. Me and my KD thing, I don't care about winning. Give me
Craft dinner.
allow me the opportunity to kill a player first. At least that. It's selfish players. It's the players who are specifically going into the game, sitting out at the table, and maybe they aren't playing a CEDH deck, but they've got the CEDH mentality. I'm here to win.
If the pilot is correct.
Yeah. My only want to sit at this table is to win.
To dunk on fools.
Is to
Let
dunk
the
on
shoe
fools.
fit, yeah.
And if that's your turn zero discussion, is that I don't care about your turn zero discussion, I don't care about your fun, I'm here to purely win, then like that's exactly where that lies. It's an important discussion to have, and it's important to respect that. But part of it, if you're going to sit down for casual play, you have to respect all players, and that means not trying to manipulate people into only respecting yours.
And I want to add to what he just said, my darling Brando. So we've been working on this theory right now, and I think this is where Rule 0 needs to start and then end immediately, okay? Obviously, maybe have a little bit of communication prior to understanding proper power tiers. Please, people, understand the literal ocean out there, okay? Please just try to study it a bit more.
Oh, my sweet summer
But that
child.
said,
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to be that easy.
hey, we're doing okay.
We're getting
doing
close.
okay.
We're getting close.
We are
I
doing
know,
okay.
but the extensive
It's
lists,
anecdotal to the audience, but we are doing all right,
But
okay?
then
That said,
getting okay at that becomes insulated.
where it
and then-
starts and ends, are you here to have fun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you here to have, or here to win?
Yeah.
Different
Fun or
people-
win? Completely different mindsets. CDH, here to win. Shut the fuck up with your politics. Fuck off with it. Literally, just stop. Go lay down. Go fall on your sword, please.
Yeah.
Leave. Go back to your weirdly, insanely house-restricted circumstances and just leave the politics.
Yo, my
of
question about this
competitive
is: was it one of the opponents that created this stink, or was it some random ass hat on the internet?
all of the above. All the above.
So,
That's my theory.
like you're talking about specifically like this event.
Yeah, this match.
So I had the luck of being able to read the initial tweet before it was
Yeah.
taken down because, of course, the internet went wild and basically decided to try and ruin some guy's life because he decided to get angry at somebody. No, it was a very like rude written tweet of basically calling this person out.
Who tweeted it?
Oh, I don't know.
No, that was my question. Was it one of the opponents, or was
It
it
was
a random person?
no, it was from the opponent, the one who was mad because they got lied to. It was him. He sent out a tweet, and they like legitimately, specifically were like, it was not a well worded retort. It was mean.
You know
it was
what's
very
funny?
mean.
Doesn't sound like an evil cunt over here, but all is fair in wins and losses.
Yeah,
Just
you know,
saying.
I want to talk about my own personal reflection in the fact that I've recently tried competing against random like strangers.
Yeah.
I don't think I could lie. Like, it is something that I personally have too much sweetness. I can't be the villain like that to a random stranger. I try to be so amicable and like so like, oh yeah, no, like, everything's okay. Like, I don't know if I could be that cutthroat, and I kind of like. I want to say to carry this into an end step. Man, the darkness of human reality right now is that sociopaths have such an advantage in our society.
The structure
People
that
that don't
loves
care,
them. No,
people that
psychopaths are
don't
at the
care
top.
about other people's emotions. Have
Hasbro.
inherent. Boom.
You're gonna get our rights to even have this channel taken away.
It's everyone knows it. I'm speaking for everyone here. They know
Yeah,
it.
we went from.
They know it's true. Hasbro is
Sorry,
corrupt.
I'll let you flow, Brandon.
First of all, pretty cutthroat with me. Always stealing my mana rocks, knocking me out first. You show me no mercy.
Bro, if it's the, I'm sorry, you have to understand. If it's the right play, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, but you always,
Here's my house rules. Okay, if you complain, you're done. You're out of the game. You lose immediately. If you make a deal, you're done. You're out of the game immediately.
All right,
You need to. But no, imagine this. Hot
Do you
take.
remember
No,
that,
imagine.
that old
imagine it
YTV
though.
show where they used to slime kids? They used to dump buckets of slime on them.
With the guy who's basically wearing like
We need
BDSM weird
slime
outfit,
buckets up here.
like Bane knockoff dude.
Yeah, what was it called? What was that?
Welcome to
show?
Canada, y'all.
What was that called? Oh man,
It was called.
It was a weird
Goofy
trivia.
millennial show. Hold on.
It was a weird trivia
You guys
show for
keep rhyming
kids.
Yeah, like if you got it wrong or something, they would dump a giant bucket of green slime on your head.
Get slimed.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say, honestly.
You were giving me shit for taking your mana rocks.
It's called.
Oh yeah, it's called Uh-oh.
Oh,
You'll see a brief video of it on the screen.
Right
It
above
was-
Brandon's head.
it was pretty wild. The TV in general was kind of nuts in the 90s and early 2000s. Canadian TV in the 90s and early 2000s was like, those TV execs were coming right down off of a real big high. That's for sure.
Do you remember Scary Stories?
Yeah,
with
I
the
love
weird
that.
slime covered, like the really ultra horny worm.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I never liked that slimy thing. It made me, I hated it.
remember,
but
like,
I love that show.
Bump in the Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay, all right. Is there anything else we want to touch on, or do we want to send this into the ether? Because we usually, I mean, hour and a half is a good place to stop.
Pending for next episode, because I keep trying to, so I'm at least going to put this here so that these two feel obligated for us to continue in the next podcast. Solitaire decks. Are they fun? Probably not.
Right. Well, how long do you think it's going to take to flesh that convo out? Because we just throw it in here.
I mean, depends. How long do I want to take?
We've left
is
it for
the
next
answer.
time a couple times.
I'd much rather leave it. We're at an hour and a half. Cutting this down, most of it's still pretty.
Hour and 15, something like that.
Oh no, this is probably gonna like hour and 20.
It'll be hour 25. Anyway.
Yeah.
I hate math.
Thank you for listening again.
To us ramble on like idiots.
Oh yeah, we love to think we know what we're talking about. Trust.
For the a smaller audience that we have for our podcast, if you happen to be at this point in the video, I always like to just say a special thank you, because if you do watch to the end, that means, I mean, thank you so much for enjoying our random rants. Sometimes we just like to have a couple beers and sojus and shit talk Hasbro or whatever. Also talk about new Magic cards. Like today, like watching the Pro Tour, and also Brady like running upstairs talking about all these new Magic cards. And it, like,
is that Urion? Oh my god!
Like we just sometimes it's really exciting sitting down and talking about Magic cards, and also like I just adore these two and this project, and being like I get to interface with Magic and engage with Magic so much more than I used to, and in most of the ways that I wanted to and never did.
Yeah,
and also we get to reach out to people that are halfway across the freaking world that are like responding back. And if you're one of them, and if you're here and you're watching this, I really do appreciate
especially some of our more recent audience members from Australia and the UK.
Yeah,
we love you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of phenomenal.
Yeah, it was really cool when Brady and I were doing that box break, and the guy from the UK that was just like, "Hey, I'm just waking up. Like, how you guys doing?" Yeah. It feels really good. Like if you want to do something to just like make our friggin' day, just comment or engage. Join our Discord and like come say hi.
Yeah, we're always trying to do spell table games. We want to do more arena content. Like we want to play with you. We want to build a community. That was the biggest point of this, is making as many cool friends and playing this game as much as we can.
It's starting to happen, and it's really nice. And we have this fresh new studio.
Yep, we have a fresh new studio, and we should have a lot of the kinks figured out now. So a lot of we'll be around a Discord, all this kind of stuff. Our social media presence will be there now. Please reach out to us. We will guaranteedly reach out.
Absolutely.
You are the reason why we're making this show.
And if you're local, please make sure you come to the March face-to-face tour on March 23rd in Edmonton. We're going to head up there. I believe the Into the 99 crew said that they will be also heading up, right? Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that is the case, because maybe we can...
We should all share one hotel room.
Experience. We should
that'll be the episode.
Dude, I'll bring my inflatable hot tub.
Hell yeah.
I'll sleep under Dan's shadow. That'll be great.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, I can hear the beautiful sounds of Gray Matters coming in at this point. No fingers yet. No fingers yet.
No finger. I'm just doing it to be magical.
I want to vibe the music. Brandon's got his ducky. We're gonna send this one off.
This thing's seen so many music festivals, yeah.
This was our first podcast episode in person at the table in the new studio. Thank you for enjoying. Thank you for listening. We're gonna pump out a lot more. We're really discussing like doubling the frequency of what we're doing right now. We're gonna see if we can make that happen. But hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and you will be notified of all of that shiz as it comes down. Otherwise,
until next time, clean my
jazz hands,
clean my duck,
jazz hands,
clean my dirty duck.
Love y'all.
My dirty duck.
Clean it. You can take it off.
I'll do it, yeah. I will say some stupid shit, and then I will pass it off to you guys.
I mean, that was pretty good, honestly, what you just did there. What you just said.
I just touched my tits and said words.
Yeah. Okay, stop with the B-roll.
All right.